Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today I have a very interesting article and it's about the Jewish state. The Jewish state is Israel obviously, and I don't know if you're familiar with the issue, but it seems like the Jewish state can hit any country in the area without I don't know, without any consequences from, let's say, NATO, or being afraid that the United Nations will, I don't know, pass a resolution for an invasion or anything like that. And that is kind of, how should I put it, mildly strange, since, Israel says that it has the right, and I agree with that, and to defend itself, but so do everybody else. So they all have the same right of defending themselves, and it seems like Israel is defending itself mainly by attacking others, and that's their way of defending itself. It's not me saying that, it's the evidence provided by all the articles I read, is in this case Syria. Israel warplanes attacked Damascus, the capital of Syria, the international airport of Syria. Now, is that a defensive attack? Maybe if you say it's a preemptive attack, or to eliminate some people that you deem, dangerous, terrorist, however you deem them being. But if you have that right, that means everybody else have the same right. So let's say, I'm just giving this scenario, let's say Lebanon decides to, send one warplane and attack, just say Jerusalem, or maybe, Tel Aviv. And let's say it's successful. We go past the fact that might be shot down or anything. Okay, it's successful, and blows up, how do you call a goat and three chicken. Do you think that Israel would say, well, it's just Lebanon's right of self-defense, and the United States would say the same thing? Well, as Lebanon's right of self-defense. Or do you think that in about 33.5 seconds, Israel will send some warplanes and flatten Lebanon out? Obviously, I think it can do that. Or do you think that the United States would immediately go to the United Nations and demand a resolution to be voted on in condemning the terrorist attacks conducted by Lebanon? I think that would happen in no time. And I wonder why. Actually, I don't wonder why, because I know why, but I can't say it here. All right, so let's see what happened now. This article, I have two articles. Actually, I saw three articles. So I'm going to combine all three of them because they're very cheap on their information, because it's just in. This article comes from Sputnik. It is from today, the 1st of December 2022. Just in, Israeli strikes caused Damascus airport to suspend service. 2 killed. 2 soldiers were killed following a military strike on Monday, which targeted the Damascus International Airport in Syria. Because today is still Sunday, over there is Monday. For people who might not, be a little bit confused about the beginning of this article. On Monday, a raid carried out by Israel's military on the Damascus International Airport killed 2 soldiers and wounded 2 others. The airport is now out of service, according to the Syrian army. Now, its international airport is not a military airport by this report, and Israel carried military. Okay, well, what can you do? Let's see, this is the next article that I'm going to give us. That was all from Sputnik, from the Russian media. Now let's go to the Jewish States media, which I picked Jerusalem Post, and it's from January 2nd, because over there is already January 2nd. And this is the title: 2 Syrian soldiers killed in alleged Israeli strike. The strikes hit an outpost controlled by Iran's Quds Force and associated militias, according to Reuters. So Reuters tells us through Jerusalem Post that someone, we don't know whom, hit the Iran Quad forces. Who determined that? I would like to know. Who determined those were the Quad forces? Can you verify that? Can I verify that? No. So that means they can tell us whatever they want and we cannot verify that. And if by any chance we get an Arab, let's say a news outlet, and they say, well, like Al Mayadeen, for instance, and they say, well, you know what, actually it was, there were some 3, I don't know, fighter jets, bombers, however you want to call them, Israeli, and they just destroyed, I don't know, a civilian international airport shack or something. What would you say? And say, no, it was no Iranian. Who would you believe? And why? So, how would you be able to verify that? I mean, you're going to have Reuters, you have the Jerusalem Post, who that quotes Reuters, and then let's say you have Al Jazeera, not Al Jazeera, Al Mayadeen. Who would you believe, and why not? So this is how we get the news. Anyway, the fact is, someone attacked the airport, or international airport in Damascus, and some military died. This guy said they were Iranians. 2 Syrian soldiers were killed and 2 others were wounded early on Monday morning in alleged Israeli airstrikes targeting Damascus International Airport, the Sana Syrian state news agency reported. I'm a little bit confused here. So it says here that the strikes hit an outpost controlled by Iran's Quds Force and associated militias, according to Reuters. And it said 2 Syrian soldiers were killed and 2 others were wounded. So were they Syrian soldiers, or there were Iran's Quds forces? Are Iran Quad forces Syrian forces, soldiers, or what? Now, Sana added that material damage had been sustained in a strike, as well as the airport was temporarily out of service following the strikes. What can you do? And then we have the report that I didn't read it. It's from Reuters, that gives a little bit more details on previous Israeli strikes in Syria. Now my question is that a normal state of affairs? And if it is, why is it for Israel but it's not for, let's say, Lebanon, let's say? I think it's a very dangerous way of acting in this kind of, hey, it's self-defense, but I'm attacking you. I'm preemptively, or I'm eliminating some outposts that I say they are of my enemy, that I don't like, they don't like. I promise to hit them, they promise to hit me. In a sovereign country called Syria that hosts these criminals, so I'm entitled to hit them because I consider them to be over there and to attack me and planning, and therefore I defend myself by punching you first. But if we act like this, if any country on this planet would act in the same way, I'm not talking about United States. United States is a special country, if you know what I mean. Can do whatever it fucking wants. So let's put United States to the side, if you know what I mean. Cuts corners and breaks international law, drop of a hat. So let's put it aside. Besides these 2 countries, let's put it this way, Israel and I mean, if someone would, let's say China will preemptively strike India, because with a nuclear weapon, I mean, to make sure that it's all done, because preemptively, in a self-defense, thinking that those guys over there at the border with them in by Tibet, by Mama, who the fuck knows where, over there, that's a big problem. I mean, and then, what if Russia would start hitting preemptively, the Baltic states, thinking that NATO will attack them? I mean, actually, NATO is an enemy at this point. It's not even like a competitor. So what if they, okay, you have NATO forces by my border almost right there, right? Close to me, and I consider them very dangerous. I mean, so what should I do? Am I entitled to? I mean, according to this theory and this practice, yes. But since you're not Israel or United States of America, no, you can't. And if you do it, oh, everybody's gonna jump up off their fucking seats and they're gonna start saying shit. I mean, let's be, try. I mean, this is something that bothers me. These guys expect us to be honest and fair and just when they are at the, receiving end, or they want to find a victim somewhere to hit in the face. But then when they do something a hanky-panky, we're not supposed to use logic and justice and objectivity and, facts and all. No, we're not supposed to. Well, it's the right of self-defense because of the past, and they give you whatever they want. I mean, just say something, you're called anti-Romanian, anti-Ukrainian, anti-Russian. Have you heard this ever? I haven't heard this. I heard about some others being anti all the time. So anyway, put that aside. I think this is unfair. That's my assessment. I don't think it's fair for a state to do whatever it considers as target. It considers as target to just preemptively destroy targets in a sovereign country that protects those forces that I say they are over there and they are my enemy. That means then Turkey can hit northern Iraq and Syria with no problems, hitting all the Kurds they want, because the Kurds are their enemies. So is that how it works? I mean, if you go extrapolate like that, you can hit, I don't know, man, I don't want to go into it. It's still irritating, the whole shit. And then they are the victims. And if you say otherwise, you're anti, Anyway, Havana Gila. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.